Hey, everyone. Do you believe in vampires? Because apparently people in 18th and 19th century Europe really did. They were so convinced that vampires were real that they would dig up corpses and burn their insides. So how did this all start? Let's find out. According to history.com, the vampire hysteria started in Eastern European countries like Hungary and Serbia. It was there that people started believing that an evil spirit or vampire could enter someone's body after they died, causing them to bloat, rise, and drink the blood of family members. And while we may laugh at these beliefs today, back then it was very much a matter of life and death. If someone suspected that their loved one had become a vampire, they would do whatever it took to stop the supposed vampire from rising, even if that meant mutilating the corpse. But why did these people think that vampires were real? Well, there are a few theories. For one, there were widespread reports of unexplained illnesses and deaths throughout Europe during the 18th century. Doctors were completely baffled by these cases, which may have led some to believe that vampires were to blame. Additionally, many people were superstitious and believed that the devil was behind these illnesses. They also believed that vampires could be identified by certain signs, such as an unusually pale complexion, large and dark eyes, an aversion to sunlight, red gums, and, of course, an insatiable thirst for blood. If someone displayed these symptoms, they were often accused of being a vampire. Furthermore, during the Middle Ages, there had been a baleful practice of bloodletting, which involved the draining of blood from a sick person in order to cure them of their illness. This practice was based on the belief that illnesses were caused by an imbalance of blood, and so removing some of the blood would restore the balance and cure the person. But as you can imagine, this practice didn't always go as planned, and sometimes patients who underwent bloodletting died. Those who opposed the practice accused those who performed bloodlettings of being vampires, saying that they were killing people instead of helping them. Perhaps unsurprisingly, given that these supposed vampires were often exhumed. Most of the physical evidence used to support the belief in vampires consisted of corpses that appeared to be bloated, had unusual discoloration, or bore other disturbing marks. While we now know that these features are consistent with the decomposition process, people at the time did not. Instead, they believed that they were evidence of a recent corpse warming spell. And while it might seem crazy to us today that people genuinely believed vampires were real, it's important to remember that they weren't stupid or ignorant. These were regular people trying to make sense of the world around them, just like us. Unfortunately for them, though, their conclusion was that vampires were real. And so to stop these evil spirits from rising, they would exhume corpses, cut open their chests, remove their organs, and burn them. Now, I know what you're thinking. If burning the vampire's insides was supposed to stop the evil spirit from rising, wouldn't the best course of action be to burn the entire corpse? Well, yes. But these people believed that the body itself was not the vampire. Rather, the vampire was an evil spirit or demon that had somehow become attached to the body, and so destroying the body would not destroy the vampire. However, destroying the vampire's insides would. As horrifying as these practices are, though, it's important to remember that they were not done out of malice. These people were not evil or cruel. They were desperate. They genuinely believed that their loved ones had died because of vampires, and they wanted to stop that from happening to anyone else. In the end, of course, they were wrong. There were no vampires. But that didn't stop people from believing in them and taking extreme measures to stop them from rising. So next time you hear someone claim that they saw a vampire, you'll know that they may be more right than they think. Thank you for watching.